They just uploaded this. Let's see what this is about. But yeah, that whole video is a fucking lie. That video is a lie. End segment.
You've heard a lot about big oil, big pharma, big tech, and all the other big bad players out there. I want to talk to you about the biggest, baddest one of them all. This Goliath doesn't deal in billions, it deals in trillions. I'm talking about Big Green. Yes, the environmental movement. It's the richest, most powerful big in the world right now. Nothing else even comes close.
No, it's not. And no, it's not. It keeps getting shut down in the United States. If you're even going to consider the world, you're still going to consider economic value that just didn't turn over 3 or 4 years. And because of the system that we live in with money, it looks like a big failure, but it's not, because even if we were wrong, hey, Retap, what up? Yard tap, well, how you doing? Yeah, even if you were to begin to assume that that had any merit to it whatsoever, you would immediately say, well, then why people are shooting it down? No, if you never do it, then you never spend money on it. So even if you did it incrementally, you're still not at the trillions mark. The projected amount is trillions, but we literally gave $2 trillion away to the printed to the Federal Reserve to profit the stock market. So if it's dealing in trillions, then we fucked up somewhere down the road.
Until we see it for what it is and rein it in, it's going to get even bigger. And as is usually the case, bigger is not always better. You see, Big Green wants to take over your life. It has to. This makes perfect sense.
What? I know he's going to explain it. So I'm fine with him fucking explaining it. But what? Big Green wants to do what? Huh? What? What the fuck is this shit? Y'all watch this? Y'all watch this? Tell me this is not one big Ashton Kutcher prank. Explain this to me. Explain to me how this not a prank, bro. Explain to me right now how this not a prank. How this not a prank, bro. Explain that to me. Explain to me. Yeah, okay. So I had a whole piece. If you just showed up here, I just had a whole piece where a 30-minute thing about how poor people have a really hard time even moving up because of the literal desire from neoliberals to just accept whatever the government gives you, and that's what it's gonna be. How the hell is cleaner air taking over your life? We literally cannot move forward as a society till this type of thinking is done. This type of thinking has to be fucking done. What? And here I am worried about, oh my god, my content only gets 10 views here, or 40 views here, or this and that. Oh my god, this, and oh my god, that. And these people are getting 9, 10, 20 million views. People are donating to them. For what? You're getting lied to, son. You're getting played. You're getting played like a sucker. Holy shit. Oh my god. I'm sorry, I'm having a freak out on stream. What the fuck is that? What is that? What is this? What? No, hell no. Oh, we getting into this one. Strap up, shut the fuck up with the booze, hop in the whip, we gonna take a ride. No way, son. 40 seconds in, and I could...
Big Green, after all, intends to save the planet from oblivion. Your freedom would seem to be a small price to pay. To accomplish its mission, Big Green needs 2 things: money and power. It already has a lot of both, but it's hungry for much more. Who do we mean when we say Big Green? We mean the major organizations that set the agenda for the movement. This would include, among dozens, Greenpeace, 350.org,
Where attacking Greenpeace now? I thought Greenpeace was cool. The commercials, y'all was hyping that shit up. Do Peace Corps.
Nature Conservancy, Sierra Club, World Wildlife Fund, and of course, the politicians, bureaucrats, corporations, and media outlets who support and promote their agenda. Before we get any deeper into this, let's stipulate a few things. The climate is changing. It appears, though we can't be sure, to be slowly warming. If it continues to warm, it could cause serious environmental problems sometime in the distant future. Industrialization probably plays a role in this warming process. Reasonable people should be able to agree on this. Democrat leader Nancy Pelosi and Republican leader Newt Gingrich actually once sat down together and said as much in a public service ad they made in the 1990s. But Big Green has no interest in being reasonable. Reasonable doesn't get you money. Reasonable doesn't get you power. So let's talk about the money.
This is ironic, right? This is supposed to be ironic, right? This is supposed to be ironic, right? This is not real. Tell me, somebody in the chat, tell me right now this is not real. Please tell me this is not real. All of that is fucking taking like the smallest details out of the air and webbing this line together. There's no way that's real. There's no way that's real. You can't be serious.
Greenpeace, Nature Conservancy, World Wildlife Fund, and Sierra Club all have financial assets in the $100 to $300 million range. Name a Fortune 500 company, and chances are they're writing big checks to Big Green. Banking giant Citigroup, for example, has committed $100 billion to combat climate change. But the real money is at the government level.
Can you explain what climate change would like? How is battling that a bad thing?
In 2009, the Obama administration directed more than $110 billion to be spent on renewable energy investments under the American Recovery and Reinvestment Act alone. What the taxpayer got for this investment, other than long-forgotten $500 million boondoggles like Solyndra, is hard to say. According to the best economic models, the Paris Climate Accord will cost the world $1 to $2 trillion every year. Total cost for the Green New Deal, $52 trillion, minimum. But money is only a means to an end. The end is power. The power to transform society into what they think it should be. That's what this is really about.
A clean energy society? How do people stream this shit? Like, how do you react to this without just being in absolute disgust? Like, I've never really watched a video. I try to avoid doing this when I'm browsing the internet. But I never watch a video that makes me scrounge my face or, like, makes me say, the fuck are you talking about? But quite literally, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, how do you end up here? How did you even remotely get to that? Like, the power of what? They could transform the world into what they think it should be. Do you think we're doing well now as is? Aren't you guys arguing against big government? Like, the fact that small organizations are getting support, you do realize there's support, like, from other corporations to kill this in Congress with any type of bill whatsoever. Didn't the coal mining industry make, like, billions? And you're over here talking about millions? What?
Here's how Shoykat Chakrabarty, the architect of the Green New Deal, described it to the Washington Post. It wasn't originally a climate thing at all. We really think of it as a how do you change the entire economy thing.
Oh, I feel like that's so taken out of context. I'm not even going to look it up. I can just feel that being taken straight out of context, out of the middle of a sentence.
You like all this, that's fine. But don't pretend it's about protecting the environment. Chakrabarty was being honest. You should be too. It's about transferring more and more power to the government at every level, federal, state, local. And the way to get the power is to gin up scary scenarios. The planet is burning. The seas are rising. We're all going to be dead soon unless we listen to those masters of disaster, Al Gore, Bill McKibben, and Greta Thunberg. And what have all their horror stories led to? A generation of young people who have nightmares about a planet burning up around them. Poor people who pay higher energy bills than they need to because of massive subsidies for wind and solar power. Millions of birds, including endangered ones, dying, sliced to pieces by wind turbines. Yet in the midst of all the planet is burning fear-mongering, the world is cleaner, healthier, and richer than it has ever been.
Literally, how did you post this 12 hours ago saying the world is richer than it's ever been when every country except for those who have defeated the coronavirus are still giving stimulus checks? We just agreed on needing one just the day you posted this. Did you think this through?
Deaths from natural disasters are at all-time lows. Here's why. Human beings adapt when faced with climate problems. We're really good at it. We've been doing it for thousands of years. Sea levels rising, build taller and better seawalls. That's what the Netherlands did. A good chunk of the country, including its international airport, is below sea level. Need more water? Spread the gospel of drip irrigation and desalinization. Israel has more water than it needs, and it's in the middle of a desert. Need clean energy? Build more nuclear power plants. Sweden gets half of its energy from nuclear. None of these simple, practical solutions makes much of an impact on Big Green. You don't raise money off of common sense, and you don't get political power telling people how good things are, and you certainly don't become famous by being calm.
Does he not know what he's advocating for here? Does he not get the sick ass irony that he's on a video? Like, does he not get that at all? Is he being like for real? Is this a real thing? Is this a real idea?
Big Green is not poor, not honest, and certainly not powerless. It's time we all plug into that truth. I'm Rogan O'Hanley.
That's crazy. That's